All right, and welcome back for the episode of Carnivore Trade. Today is Wednesday, July 3rd, 2024. If you're not done so already, please give the video a thumbs up, like, comment, subscribe to the channel. Come find me on carnivoretrades.com for swing trading alerts, analysis, and live day trading. Anyways, only 100 away from 4,000. Hit that subscribe button if you like the content or if you made any money off any of the free trades in here. Anyways, let's get into it today. So, half day here, doing the video on the early side. And you can pretty much see here right now, I don't think we're going to really get too much past, let me just fix this here. I don't think we're going to get too much past 55.25 or 55.30. You can see the GEX there right now. On the downside, 10 and 50 or 49, 495 rather, are support levels. It's a half day. Let's not get too excited and look for a ton of volatility. Spiders here have traded 11, just under 12 million shares, and it's a half day, so light volume. There's a reason why I've been saying bears are running out of time, and you can see this is going to be a really tight range right now. Bears are running out of time. Light volume, holiday volume, bodes neutral to upside. That's 101 stuff, and they did not damage this chart before. We got into the holiday period, and now we're going to be going into a week before OPEX period where a lot more pinning effects take place. And again, that also is neutral to positive. Actually, I think even more positive is supportive flow. But that said, markets are holding up. Tesla continuing higher, although it is pulling back here. There is some GEX on that around 240. We'll see if that gets there. Maybe even 230 to 235 by Friday. This is about 5. It was about 5 standard deviations away from the 20 moving average, like about 30%. So it does need to pull back. Right a few days ago or a few weeks ago, everybody was bearish on this, and now what happens last night? Every jerk upgrades. It's going to all-time highs. It's going to all-time highs by Friday. Crazy price targets. And now getting walked back a little bit here, but that was leading the market higher. We did have some election odds come through too. I'm not sure. I mean, this could be a little bit of noise here. I'm trying to get this up for you. This could be a little bit of noise, but if we look at the, polling, Harris passing Biden right now, when that dropped, look at what happened to certain sectors. The IWM came down pretty sharply. NVIDIA popped hard. And saw some other big tech areas kind of pop a little bit. Google, not so much as NVIDIA did, but we saw Tesla kind of pull back in. And the Russell pulled back in, and XLE pulled back in too. I don't know if there's anything to make out of that. Obviously, that would imply that Trump's odds are going down if he's replaced with Biden. But semiconductors got a really good bid after that. I don't know if there's too much to make out of it, but just something to watch. A reason why it wouldn't be anything to make much out of is if we look at oil, it's, it didn't really, I mean, I guess it popped on inventories here, but it didn't really react to the news either. I would think oil would react, seeing as how Trump said he wants to drill, and it didn't. So maybe it's just nothing, but just some stuff to pick at here while we have a half day. By the way, there will be no video on Friday for the markets. I will be out of town. So just so you guys know, that's the first time that I'm going to do that in 3 years since I've had Carnivore Trades. So I've not had any sort of proper vacation since I started the company. And this isn't really a full vacation, but a couple extra days off to not think about stocks for a few days. But either way, we are seeing volatility uptick a little bit. We have the jobs number on Friday. Again, we probably dip on it, and then it's probably a dip for buying. We should get up to 5,600, I would assume, by July OPEX. It's not that far away. We're only 70, 80 points away right now, so not that far. My question is, how long does it take for the Qs to overtake the SPY as, in price? We're approaching 5 bills right now on the Qs, and the SPYs are only at, 550. Something to watch there. We could also look for a rug pull too. I do think probably around 495 will be some resistance for QQQ. And maybe it gets up to like 498 and then you get a rug pull there. I'm not saying that happens in the next 2 weeks. I'm just saying in general. But again, market's holding up. No reason to be bearish at this current time. I'm going to do a video tomorrow, or not tomorrow, but I'm going to try and get it done tonight if I have time, to release over the holiday about breadth, dispersion, and correlation, because I think that's something that I know that's something that people still don't understand. And there's a reason why I've been telling you guys breadth is not, just don't short the market because of breadth. And I'll explain that here. But speaking of that, RSP up today. Could be a false breakdown here too, especially if that can follow through on Friday. Either way, still a decent pattern here up at the highs. And then we have equal weight Qs, also still holding up today, up 10 cents, and having a very strong pattern here on the daily and the weekly. So again, market's holding up here. IWM was leading earlier, then it came back in after that news, but still setting up here, I think, for a move, perhaps on CPI or non-farm payroll. Dow here still looking good. It is down on the day, but just fractionally. And again, I like that bull pattern there. Semiconductors, I'm looking for this to get up to, I think it was 272. I had NVIDIA set up for 132, so we'll see if that gets there. You do have a move here and then an inside bar, so it should be able to do that. So semiconductor still strong. Pelosi, I guess, doubled down on Broadcom and NVIDIA today. She did miss the Tesla move, though. By the way, just don't look at these people as gods either. I know we joke about Pelosi and stuff all the time. Nobody talks about the fact that she bought Roblox in December 2021. If you want a visual on that, that's what it did. So these guys aren't gods just because they have inside info. Having inside info doesn't mean you understand how markets work. Like Stan Druckenmiller bought NVIDIA. This just happened to be the biggest stock that drove the market. It doesn't make Pelosi a genius or it doesn't make her inside info, like a godlike. I mean, obviously it, I think, helps, but just because she does something doesn't mean that you should do it either. It also, she's a human. She's not. She's not invincible to greed, and I would say buying here is greed, pure and simple. So that could be as simple as that. Just throwing that little tidbit out there. I don't want to derail this video. I was trying to keep this video short because it short day. IGV continuing up here, 88 still resistance for now. That's going to 92 though, I think. And then the Dow Transport's here, having a pretty good day. They are off the highs, but still higher high there. And maybe a little bit more consolidation. I think it pushes back up towards 15.8. Rates today backed off pretty substantially, 5s, 10s, and 30s. And again, this trade is just such a pain trade, right? There's pain down here. Everybody was short bonds. Oh, the economy is going to crash. Nike earnings. And then we ripped hard for 2 days, and now we're coming right back in. So this is one of those just sentiment trades where sentiment goes to one extreme to the other, one extreme to the other really quickly. I have not traded yields outside of day trades in a while. So I think a lot of this is just big time, big picture, really monthly chart backing and filling. So I'm not really trying to take too many directional trades here on yields outside of day trades at the moment. I do think they will be a buy again in the future, but I don't think we're quite there yet. Home builders here with a nice bounce. That needed to happen. We got close to that support, and it's getting a bid there. If we can get back above 150, where these pivots are, could be a false breakdown. So again, like I said yesterday, don't discount that possibility. But if they continue down, we're going into the mid to low 90s. BNQ up 8 cents today. It's off the highs, but it's holding up okay. XLF here down 7 cents. Was up big yesterday. And the same thing with KRE, up big late last week and yesterday, and now kind of backing off. Same thing with KBE, and broker dealers here fractionally higher. Actually had a new all-time high and then pulled back a little bit, but still very strong there. Oil continuing down here. So a little bit of a dip there. It is bouncing off the lows. We had inventories. We talked about that earlier. It pulled back. I think this might be the high here in oil, but we'll see. We'll see what kind of pattern it puts in. If it goes sideways, then it can have another thrust up. But if it gets rejected and starts going down, you got a little support at 81.60, and then we'll start looking at $80, and then kind of go from there. But oil's still holding up, but it is backing off. XLE up 21 cents on the day. Nothing terrible there. That's still consolidating. And same thing with XOP and OIH. I think these are starting to set up for another pop here. Uranium CCJ holding up all right today, nothing terrible. URNM up 3, that needed a good bid there. And then NJ up 5%, that needed a good bid too. So they're still holding up on the weekly. Nat Gas here finally getting a bounce. Take a look at this 4-hour here. So going into inventories, you had a pretty good divergence there. And on the hourly, look at how wacky that divergence was. So good bid there. We're expecting this to get up into 255, 260 over the next couple of days. That should be our reflex there. Also, again, I mentioned it yesterday. I mean, like, could there be like a, let me just pull it up. Again, try to keep the video short, but yeah. So, I mean, is there a 1% chance? Like, so if you live in the Gulf, you know, this doesn't mean anything. This could easily just do that, and then it's going to go straight into Texas in Houston, or, you know, Louisiana in that area. You know, category 4. So is there a 1% tail risk? At these lows, I think it's attractive. I'm not saying it happens, but at this area, I think it's pretty attractive. You'd have very little downside, and if something, God forbid, does happen, I mean, we could easily see $4, $5, $6. So that's happened before. I'm not making that up. It happened in 16 with Houston, or is it 17? And I think nat gas is at like 3. It went to 6. So anyway, not to get too long-winded there, but I do like it for a bounce. Regardless, dollar index got thrashed today, back into this lower trend line here. I don't think it breaks down, but again, still weekly bullish inside bar until proven otherwise. But it backed off because of that data. My guess is they fudged the non-farm payroll to pump the dollar. On Friday, speaking of, gold's getting a really good bid here. That's still holding up. I'm going to get rid of this bear flag look because it's not one anymore. And again, like I've been telling you guys on the weekly, this is just big picture consolidation. This is getting ready to go. I don't think it's ready yet, but it's setting up. And silver with a good outside move here, finally getting above that. Little flag, that's close. I don't think it's quite ready, but I've been proven wrong before. 35 still kind of the macro target there. Platinum with a decent up day. And then palladium here, up another 2.5 above the 200 moving average. Look at that. Holy crap, guys. For the first time since October 2022. So anytime there's the first time of anything in a long time, it's always significant. So palladium's starting to firm up now. And then copper here. I missed this. I was hoping for 425, but we did get that weekly 20 MA after the extended move. Usually, there's also a time count in there too. But usually that first hit of the 20 after an extension is going to get defended, and I think that's what's happening. So copper here, I was hoping for a little bit more of a pierce of that. I just didn't get it. But we'll say right now, a good bounce here takes you at least to the 50% fib. That doesn't mean it happens in a straight line. But, you know, we could come up here, pull back, and then go up. Maybe even a 618. So 486. So copper, pretty good here, and I like this for a bounce now. I'm not in it. I'm not saying to buy it, but I think it does get going. Anyway, Bitcoin still bullish. Bearish inside bar until proven otherwise. I don't think there's a ton of downside though on the weekly. I did some numbers, and I think if this week specifically, if we get down into about 56, 57, I think it gets bought pretty fast. But if we consolidate longer, it can push lower. But Bitcoin's still in this range, nothing doing there. So spiders right now kind of just inching higher. Nothing really going on. Market's going to close in an hour. So we'll see if they juice us up to 25 to 30 by the end of the day. It's not really consequential. Not much consequence if they do or they don't. Trend leg is still in play here. I think if we dip on non-farm payrolls, it's probably shallow, and there's not going to be a lot of participation. So sellers are not going to have liquidity, and we're also going to go into the week before OPEX. Flows are going to be supportive. Again, over and over, there's a reason why I said bears need to do damage before really the end of June, and they did not do that. That's what kept me buying dips, and kept that positive bull bias that I've had for quite a while. So, anyways, guys, gonna wrap it up here. You guys have a great holiday. Take care, and I will see you guys all next week on Monday.